Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Too often, we overlook the importance of protecting our peace, mistakenly thinking that sharing everything with everyone is a sign of trust or strength. But the truth is, your peace is one of the most valuable things you have, and safeguarding it is not just a choice, it's a responsibility. We live in a world where people are constantly sharing everything. Social media platforms are flooded with posts, updates, and announcements about personal lives, careers, relationships, and even struggles. It creates a culture where oversharing feels normal and even expected. But you have to remember, the more you expose, the more you allow people into spaces they have no business being in. Not everyone who hears your story will have your best interests at heart. Some people will use what they know about you as leverage, a way to judge, criticize, or even manipulate you. By sharing too much, you're giving them the tools to disrupt your peace. When you let everyone into your life, you're essentially opening the doors to your sanctuary. Imagine your inner world as a home. You wouldn't leave your front door wide open for anyone to walk in, would you? Of course not. You'd lock the door, you'd set boundaries, and you'd only allow trusted individuals into that space. The same principle applies to your mental and emotional well-being. Protecting your peace is about setting those boundaries and being selective about who you let in. Not everyone deserves a seat at your table. Some people come into your life with ulterior motives. They're curious, not supportive. They want to know about you, not because they care, but because they're looking for something to talk about. They want to see what you're doing, not because they're cheering you on, but because they want to measure you against themselves. It's a harsh reality, but one you need to accept. You can't control how people think or act, but you can control how much access they have to you. There's strength in silence. Keeping certain aspects of your life private is not about being secretive, it's about being strategic. Silence gives you the power to control the narrative. When you don't reveal too much, people can't form assumptions or opinions about you based on incomplete information. It also keeps you in control of your energy. When you share everything, you're scattering pieces of yourself in every direction. But when you're selective, you're conserving that energy and directing it where it truly matters, toward your goals, your growth, and your well-being. Think about the times you've shared something deeply personal, only to have it met with indifference or worse, criticism. How did that make you feel? Probably disappointed, maybe even betrayed. That's because you expected others to value what you shared in the same way you do. But not everyone will, and that's okay. The lesson here is not to expect validation from others. The lesson is to be discerning about who you share your vulnerabilities with. There's a saying, don't cast your pearls before swine. It's a metaphor for being mindful about what you offer to others, particularly when it comes to your most valuable treasures, your thoughts, your dreams, your fears, and your plans. These are your pearls. They're precious, and they shouldn't be given away carelessly. When you protect your peace, you're essentially protecting those pearls. You're ensuring that they don't fall into the hands of those who won't appreciate them, or worse, those who will misuse them. Another aspect of protecting your peace is understanding the difference between being open and being vulnerable. Being open is about sharing what you choose to share on your terms with people you trust. Being vulnerable, on the other hand, often involves exposing yourself to potential harm. Vulnerability can be a strength in the right context, but it's also something that requires careful consideration. Who are you being vulnerable with? Have they earned that privilege? If not, you're risking your peace by letting them into a space they haven't proven they deserve. One of the most important steps in protecting your peace is learning to say no. No to conversations that drain you. No to relationships that take more than they give. No to situations that compromise your well-being. Saying no is not selfish, it's self-preservation. Every time you say no to something that threatens your peace, you're saying yes to yourself. You're affirming that your mental and emotional health are priorities. You're setting a standard for how others should treat you. Finally, remember that protecting your peace is an ongoing process. It's not a one-time decision, but a daily practice. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, and your interactions. It's about recognizing what disrupts your peace and taking steps to minimize or eliminate those disruptions. And most importantly, it's about understanding that your peace is yours to protect. No one else can do it for you. So be mindful of who you let into your life, and don't be afraid to close the door on anything or anyone that doesn't serve your well-being. The less people know about you, the less power they have over you. There is a quiet strength in mystery, in keeping certain parts of your life hidden from view. When you make the decision to be selective about what you share, you create a space where you remain in control. Mystery is not about deception. It's about discretion. It's about understanding that not every detail of your life needs to be exposed to the world, because the moment you reveal too much, you open yourself up to judgment, criticism, and unnecessary interference. In today's hyper-connected world where everyone feels entitled to know everything about everyone, maintaining an air of mystery can feel like swimming against the current. Social media platforms have conditioned us to share constantly, to post our accomplishments, our struggles, our meals, our vacations, our relationships. But in doing so, we're giving people access to pieces of ourselves that they may not deserve. And the more people know, the more they feel entitled to form opinions, to comment, and even to meddle. It's important to ask yourself, do they really need to know? Do they really deserve to know? Mystery gives you the upper hand in a world where information is currency. The less others know about you, the more they're left to wonder. And in that wondering lies power. When people don't have all the answers, they can't make assumptions about you. They can't box you into categories or label you based on incomplete information. Instead, they're forced to respect the boundaries you've set, even if they don't fully understand them. This respect, whether conscious or subconscious, creates a barrier that protects you from unnecessary drama and intrusion. Being mysterious doesn't mean you're being fake or withholding important parts of yourself. It means you're being intentional. It means you're choosing what to share, when to share it, and with whom. Think about the people in your life who seem to command the most respect. Chances are they're not the ones broadcasting every detail of their lives. Instead, they're the ones who move quietly, who speak with purpose, and who keep people guessing. There's a certain magnetism in that. People are drawn to mystery because it's intriguing, because it's rare in a world where oversharing has become the norm. When you keep parts of your life private, you're also protecting your energy. Every time you share something personal, you're giving away a piece of yourself. And while that can be a beautiful thing in the right context, it can also be draining. Not everyone will appreciate what you share. Some will judge, some will criticize, and some will use it against you. By keeping certain things to yourself, you're conserving your energy for the things that truly matter. Mystery also creates freedom. When people don't know everything about you, they can't hold you to a fixed image of who you are. They can't pigeonhole you or impose their expectations on you. This gives you the space to evolve, to change, and to redefine yourself as you see fit. When you're an open book, people tend to assume they know you, all of you. But when you maintain an air of mystery, they're forced to acknowledge that there's more to you than meets the eye. This keeps you in control of your narrative and allows you to shape it on your own terms. Another benefit of mystery is that it fosters deeper, more meaningful connections. When you're selective about what you share, you're creating a natural filter. The people who genuinely care about you will take the time to earn your trust, to get to know you beyond the surface. They'll value the parts of yourself that you choose to reveal because they'll understand that those revelations are a privilege, not a given. This creates relationships built on mutual respect and authenticity rather than on superficial curiosity. Mystery can also be a powerful tool in achieving your goals. When you keep your plans and aspirations to yourself, you're protecting them from premature criticism and doubt. How many times have you shared a dream only to have someone respond with skepticism or negativity? Those reactions can plant seeds of doubt in your mind, making you question your own abilities and decisions. But when you move in silence, you're free to pursue your goals without interference. See, the doubt can provide you with perspective on your dream. You're free to make mistakes, to learn, and to grow without the pressure of external opinions. Moreover, mystery creates a sense of anticipation. When people don't know what you're up to, they're more likely to pay attention when you do make a move. Your actions carry more weight because they're unexpected. Instead of constantly explaining yourself, you're letting your results speak for you. This not only amplifies your impact, but also reinforces the idea that you're in control of your life and your choices. It's also worth noting that mystery can be a form of self-respect. When you choose to keep certain aspects of your life private, you're affirming your own worth. You're saying, not everyone gets to know me. Not everyone gets a piece of me. This creates a standard for how others treat you. When you respect your own boundaries, others are more likely to respect them as well. And those who don't, they're revealing themselves as people who don't deserve access to your life in the first place. In a world that constantly demands transparency, choosing to be mysterious is an act of rebellion. It's a way of reclaiming your power and asserting your right to privacy. It's a way of saying that you're more than what people see on the surface, that you have depths that can't be easily understood or categorized. And in that depth lies your strength, your resilience, and your freedom to be exactly who you are. Let results do the talking. In a world where words are often thrown around without much thought, actions remain the truest measure of intention, character, and capability. People can promise anything, make declarations, and speak with conviction, but words alone don't carry the weight of action. Actions, on the other hand, are undeniable proof of who you are and what you stand for. When you allow your results to speak for you, you create a level of authenticity and credibility that words can never match. Too often, people feel the need to explain themselves, to announce their plans, or to seek validation for their goals. They talk about what they're going to do, how they're going to do it, and what the outcome will be before they've even taken the first step. While this may momentarily satisfy a need for recognition or approval, it also opens the door for unnecessary opinions, criticisms, and distractions. The more you talk about your intentions, the more opportunities you create for others to weigh in, and not everyone's input will be helpful or supportive. Sometimes the best way to protect your vision is to stay silent and let your actions do the explaining. Speaking through actions is also a way of staying focused. When you spend less time talking and more time doing, you're directing your energy where it matters most. Talking can be a distraction. It can make you feel as though you're making progress when, in reality, you're just spinning your wheels. But when you channel that energy into action, you're moving forward, step by step, toward your goals. Every action you take is a brick in the foundation of your success, a tangible representation of your commitment and determination. Actions are also universal. While words can be misinterpreted or misunderstood, actions are much harder to misread. They carry a clarity that transcends language and cultural barriers. When people see you putting in the work, showing up consistently, and delivering results, they can't deny your efforts. They might not always agree with your methods or your decisions, but they can't argue with the evidence of your actions. This is why actions hold so much power. They leave no room for doubt or debate. Another benefit of speaking through actions is that it builds trust. People are more likely to believe in you when they see you backing up your words with tangible results. Trust is not something that can be demanded or forced. It has to be earned. And the most reliable way to earn trust is by consistently showing up and following through on your commitments. When you say you're going to do something, and then you actually do it, you're proving that your words have value. Over time, this consistency creates a reputation for reliability and integrity, which are the cornerstones of trust. Moreover, actions have a ripple effect. When you take decisive steps toward your goals, you inspire others to do the same. People are naturally drawn to those who lead by example, who demonstrate what's possible through their own efforts. Your actions become a source of motivation and encouragement for those around you, whether you realize it or not. This influence is far more powerful than any speech or statement you could make because it's rooted in authenticity. You're not just telling people what they should do, you're showing them what can be done. When you let your results speak for you, you're also reclaiming your power. You're taking control of your narrative and shaping it on your own terms. Instead of trying to convince others of your worth or your potential, you're allowing your accomplishments to do the talking. This shifts the focus from seeking validation to creating value. It's no longer about proving yourself to others. It's about proving yourself to yourself. And in doing so, you're cultivating a sense of confidence and self-assurance that can't be shaken by external opinions. Speaking through actions also protects you from unnecessary criticism. When you talk too much about your plans, you're giving people the opportunity to project their fears, doubts, and insecurities onto you. They might tell you why your ideas won't work or why you're not qualified to achieve your goals, but when you keep your plans to yourself and focus on executing them, you're bypassing that noise altogether. By the time people realize what you've been working on, it's already done, and at that point, there's little room for criticism because the results speak for themselves. It's important to remember that actions are not about seeking recognition or applause. The true power of action lies in its ability to create change, to move you closer to your goals, and to bring your vision to life. When you're driven by a genuine desire to succeed, the recognition will come naturally as a byproduct of your efforts. You won't need to chase it or demand it because your results will make it impossible to ignore. This is why it's so important to stay focused on the work itself rather than on the external rewards. Finally, speaking through actions is a practice of humility. It's about letting go of the need to constantly announce your intentions or seek validation for your efforts. Instead, you're allowing your work to stand on its own merit. This humility not only strengthens your character, but also deepens the impact of your actions. When people see that you're not just talking about what you're going to do, but actually doing it without fanfare, they'll respect you even more. They'll recognize that you're someone who values substance over style, who prioritizes results over recognition, and who is committed to making a difference through action rather than words.